So we'll make a start then. It's 10 o'clock. Good morning, everyone, and you're very welcome to this online webinar about the King's Award for Enterprise. Um, My name is Deb Oxley, and I'm one of the Deputy Lieutenants of the East Riding of Yorkshire. And it's my pleasure to have the role of hosting this morning's webinar. Just a few logistics. First of all, we are recording the webinar so that it can be shared after the event. So if you want to take some notes, you can, but don't worry, you'll be able to view this again later. We also will send you a copy of these slides as a participant. So again, you might want to make some short notes, but you will get the full set afterwards. If you want to communicate with us, so if you want to ask questions at any point, then please use the chat facility, which you'll find on your screen, and we will see those questions. And my aim will be to ensure that we answer those as we go through. The objectives for today are really quite straightforward. It's first of all, what are the King's Awards? Why are they important? How do the awards work? What's the process for application and what's the criteria and what's the eligibility? And who's here to help you? So that's one of our key objectives of today, to make sure you feel confident if you are planning to go for the awards, that you understand the answers to all of those questions. But probably more importantly than that is we've got some brilliant guests this morning who are previous winners of the awards. And so we hope that by hearing their story of why they applied, how they did it, what the benefits have been, that you might be inspired. And these are two local winners as well. So that we're really proud that we've got a team from Integra Buildings and VUBA. And so we'll come to both of those slightly later on. So that's our objectives for today. And we're going to start now with an introduction. And I'm absolutely delighted that the Lord Lieutenant, Jim Dick, is now going to say a few words about the awards, the background, and why they are important. So I'm going to hand over now to Jim. Jim will be joining us any second. Sorry, just bear with us. We're just getting used to the technology of Zoom and a webinar. Here he is.
I'm here now. Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to the webinar. Very pleased you could join us for this. At the Lieutenancy, in addition to our supporting the royal family and the monarch in particular, we do have a number of objectives. And one of the main ones is actually to increase the recognition in the county, in Hull and East Riding, for good works, in particular for people through the honours system, for volunteers and charities through the King's Award for Voluntary Service, but in this case, for business through the King's Award for Enterprise. And today we'd like to encourage you to think about and apply for these awards, because as a county, we do not get our fair share of these awards nationally. And it's not because we don't have very, very good businesses in the county. It's just because we perhaps don't apply as many people as we should do. So the origins of the awards go back to 1965. They were called then the Queen's Award for Industry. The Queen asked the Duke of Edinburgh to come up with a process for recognising outstanding businesses. They developed over the years and new categories were added, but they always had the same objective of recognising outstanding businesses. Today, with the change of monarch, the name has changed, but the ethos hasn't. It's still about recognising outstanding businesses. They are very prestigious and they help your business. And remember that although there are many business awards locally, regionally, nationally, there's only one business award that is given by the King. And I think underlines its prestigious nature. So we have a number of deputy lieutenants, and you'll see two of them today, who work to promote the awards to encourage you to apply, and most importantly afterwards, to support you through the application process. So what we're going to do is to tell you more now about the whole of the awards, how you can apply and how we can support you. So to do that, I'm going to hand over to Andrew Horncastle, who's leading the group.
Thank you, Lord Lieutenant, and good morning to everyone. The objective with these awards is to grant royal recognition to British business at its absolute best. Historically, there's been 4 categories: innovation, international trade, sustainable development, now to be called sustainability, and I'll come on to that a little more in a bit, and promoting opportunity through social mobility. But this year, we're excited to also be able to announce that there's going to be a 5th category, and that is going to be young founder. And again, more on that in a little while. British industry is a hive of creativity, talent, and economic potential. And this region, the region of East Riding of Yorkshire, is rich in fantastic businesses across a wide range of sectors. Many leaders in the fields with the products and the services that they offer. And a King's Award for Enterprise is a great way of celebrating the success of a business. Business plays a vital role within our society. The role of business and those who drive our businesses often, in my view, goes unrecognised. Our Lord Lieutenant, as he's mentioned earlier, wants to see more of our region's businesses receive the recognition that they deserve. Now, with these awards, size of business doesn't matter when it comes to them. They're open to businesses, whether they're micro, small businesses, medium or large businesses. And again, more on that later. Winning one of these awards is a huge achievement, not just for the business, but for the region as a whole. And our winners inspire others towards business excellence. And that can only be a good thing, because in this region, what we really want is a bigger local economy. And the more businesses we can get to expand and to grow and to prosper, the bigger that economy will become. So these awards are recognising that and hopefully stimulating that as well. So that's the purpose of this webinar, really, is to engage with more of you. And the Lord Lieutenant has appointed 5 of us deputy lieutenants who together form the team that is assisting regional businesses, here to assist you regional businesses with the process. Next slide, please. So the benefits to our winners, well, there's a lot, and the winners that are going to speak a little later will tell you about what they have felt they've benefited from. But in my opinion, and I've been involved with this now for 3 or 4 years, I see winners and how these awards boost the company and what it brings to the people within those businesses, and that I think is a vital component. They also show that how winning an award sets those businesses above and beyond their peers. And then the final thing for me that I've also seen is that I think businesses that actually go forward to apply for an award gain a lot and learn a lot about themselves. And again, I think that's useful, even if you don't win one. Next slide, please. There's an annual cycle, and that really revolves around the anniversary of our King's coronation, the 6th of May. This date serves both as the day that winners are announced publicly, and it also serves as the window opening for new entries for the forthcoming year. And that window for submissions then lasts for a period of about 3.5 months to sometime around the middle of September. That date isn't always fixed as the same date, but that date will be able to confirm to you when we're made aware of it for this particular year. The applicants then hear from the King's Award office in London in November, and that you'll then learn whether or not you've been shortlisted or not. And at that particular point, then what is a very intensive sort of due diligence process then begins. There is a lot of work, as one would expect with awards of this nature. And great care is taken to vet each applicant very carefully, given that it's going to be something that is actually given by the monarch. All successful applicants all unsuccessful applicants do receive detailed feedback, and that usually comes around the end of April in the year just before the awards are announced. And that feedback is very useful if you as a company decide to want to go again, and it gives a lot of indicators, and so you can actually see where you might just need to strengthen up your application or further application to hopefully make sure that you're successful in a second time round. And then, as I mentioned, winners are actually notified in confidence late April, prior to that public announcement on the anniversary of the coronation, 6th of May. Next slide, please. In terms of eligibility, you need to really be able to demonstrate that you are a well-run organisation. There can't be any skeletons in the cupboard. That you need to be able to demonstrate that you comply with legislation, that you are a self-contained business, that you employ more than 2 employees or the equivalent full part-time, and to demonstrate that you have good, strong ESG credentials. Next slide, please. So here we are with the new young founder category, and I'll just spend a little bit of time just talking you through that. Young people are our future leaders, our future innovators, and our future risk takers. So I think this is a great addition to the other 4 categories that we've already touched on. To be clear, it's going to be awarded to the business, but it really is focused on the founder. It's age limited, 18 to 30, and the founder must be under the age of 30 at the point where the award is made, i.e. in this particular next year would be that you have to be under 30 on the 6th of May 2027. Next slide, please. As you can see here, personally, I think it's a really great time for someone to apply for this award, for a business to apply, because it's new, it's untested, and the criteria is quite wide when you look at it and look at this particular slide. So hopefully this will appeal to some of our young Turks, young budding entrepreneurs in the East Riding of Yorkshire this year, and we might, let's keep our fingers crossed, see someone winning this new category in this region. So next slide, please. I'll just give you some updates really on the existing categories. Sustainability development the name's been changed to sustainability. And the reason for that is that we've seen it as DLs. It's been a little confusing. This award is not aimed at a product or service that's offered by a business. It's intended to look at how a business operates and what its impacts are, and how it is doing all that it does in the most sustainable way. And I think this change of name actually lends itself better to not causing the confusion that it perhaps has previously done. It's for businesses that have really embedded sustainability into the way that they operate. And I think this change is very helpful. Next slide, please. The two other categories that have had or seen some streamlining are innovation and promoting opportunity through social mobility. And again, what we've seen here is that there's quite a lot of questions in each of these categories that applicants have to answer. And some of them appear to sort of, or have appeared to sort of repeat. And that's not what assessors want. So this streamlining, we feel, will give a clearer picture and a more concise application when it's submitted. Next slide, please. So how to apply? Well, most businesses in the UK can apply, including not-for-profits. It's free. It's an online application, and it's when you actually deal with the application, it's something that you can start and you can then pause and go back to it at a later stage and go through a process of completion. And that is something that you can effectively build up as you go through your process and effectively bring in inputs from a team within your organisation. Although what I would say is what we've found is generally you want a lead to actually bring the application together and coordinate bringing it together. The applications window I've already spoken about, and you can look at the eligibility criteria by visiting the website that's listed on this particular slide. Next slide, please. So what I'm now going to just run through is a few statistics, because I think these are important for people to understand. And taking the year that's just passed, where the awards will be announced on the 6th of May, 2026, the figures that we've got here show that we had 778 applications. What's interesting about this, and it's fairly consistent over a period of quite a number of years, is that there's roughly a 1 in 4, 1 in 3 chance of winning one of these awards. So the odds are pretty good, even though it does involve a lot of work on the part of the organisation. In Yorkshire and the Humber, we've seen an increase in the number of applications being made, and we've been trying to sort of push that through the lieutenancy. And so this last year, we saw 12 applications, 6 were shortlisted, and we're eagerly awaiting to see who of those shortlisted have actually won an award. In 2025, that actually turned out to be 10 applications, 3 shortlisted, and 3 winners, which was really fantastic. And within the lieutenancy, we were delighted with that. Next slide, please. The categories are represented here, and you can see that we've got innovation and sustainability as being the most popular, and a lesser number on promoting opportunity so far. But what we are seeing is that category is becoming more popular as it's becoming more established. Next slide, please. This is the interesting one about business size, because a lot of people would have, or generally think, that these applications tend to be more dominated by the larger businesses, and that's actually not the case at all. The micro and small businesses tend to be the ones that are the predominance, the majority, followed by the medium-sized businesses. So it's very much one that is not size prejudiced. In fact, we have been told as DLs that the assessors will weight an application given the size of businesses. So you very much stand a great chance of a win if you're a micro business as well as those businesses that are bigger. Next slide, please. Here we just see the applications by category in the proportion, and again it's weighed out by what I've just mentioned in terms of the percentages and the sizes of businesses which follow. Next slide, please. And finally, this shows the range of businesses that we see applying, and again, it's across all sectors. A business that's got a good story to tell in whatever sector it actually is in stands a good chance of winning an award. It's all about the quality of the story and having the data to back that story up that you're giving, and if you do that, and particularly with the help of our team of DLs, hopefully we can make your chances of success the best that they possibly can be. So thank you for that, and I'll now hand you back to Deb.
Thank you, Andrew. Really useful information there. Interesting, 58% of the applications this year came from micro or small businesses. And of course, we are an area of the country that's dominated by small and medium-sized enterprises. So that's really an opportunity for all of you businesses out there, particularly the smaller ones, to think about the awards. That said, I am absolutely delighted now that we're going to invite some colleagues to join us, and I'm sure these are the people that you really want to hear from today. These are two businesses that were successful in bidding for or submitting for an award last year and have recently received their awards. So I'm delighted to welcome now Gary Parker and Jane Osler from Integra Buildings and Sean Scott from VUBA. So hopefully they will be appearing on screen very soon. Oh, there they are. I can see you now. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, Deb.
Morning. Thank you for joining us from your respective offices. We're going to spend a bit of time now. Hopefully, you're going to spend a bit of time explaining to the audience, both those that are here now and those that might watch this video in future, about your own experiences and your journey towards winning the King's Award for Enterprise. So first of all, let's start with some introductions. Sean, why don't you tell us who you are and what VUBA do and how big you are and where you operate?
Yeah, I'm Sean Scott, founder of VUBA. We manufacture permeable surfacing. It's designed to replace concrete or tarmac with a more attractive, more environmentally friendly surface. So resin-bound driveways is how it's known in the UK, but we export about half of what we sell internationally, and internationally it's often commercial projects or public projects everywhere that a permeable surface can be of use. We also are looking to expand our range into bases for artificial grass. So anywhere that you could have a strong, environmentally friendly surface. We're based in Hull, although we have manufacturing facilities in Leeds and Goole, and we have warehouses in Europe and America. Our annualized turnover this year will be around 70 million, and we've been growing about 50% year on year for the last 5 years.
Wow.
And yeah, very proud to have won the King's Award.
And you founded VUBA, Sean?
Yeah, I started out installing these products and realized there was a lot of opportunity to make them better. And it was just bit by bit, year by year, making improvements. And yeah, 15-year overnight success story.
Isn't it always the case? People think you just suddenly appeared out of nowhere and you've put lots of hard work in. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
Gary, Jane, there's two of you. And so I'd like to hear from maybe Gary, tell us a little bit about the business, what you do, where you do it, how big you are, what your role is, and then maybe Jane talk about your role as well.
Yeah, thank you, and good morning all. My name's Gary Parker. I'm CEO of Integra Buildings. We're based in Paul in East Yorkshire. The company was founded in 1997, some nearly 29 years ago. We manufacture modular buildings, albeit we have become more of a modular construction company these days. This is due to the number of turnkey projects we're delivering throughout the UK. We employ around 200 staff, and have a forecasted turnover around 55 million for 2026.
Brilliant. Thank you, Gary. And Jane, what's your role? Gary, did we confirm your role?
Yeah, CEO, yes, yeah.
Yeah. And you were one of the founders?
Yeah, one of the founders, yeah. There was 3 of us founded the business in 1997, yeah.
Yeah. And Jane, your role?
Morning. So I'm the bid manager for Integra. I've been with the company for about 8 years now. I've got a background mostly in sales, ventured into the bid side of the business and really enjoyed it. Not sure many do, but so yeah, that's my background.
Brilliant. Well, maybe if we stay with the 2 of you to start with then. First of all, I'm sure there's people watching this video now thinking, should I apply? So, they're considering, have they got the right sort of story to tell? Have they got the right evidence, etc.? Can you tell us why you applied? So what stimulated you to apply this time?
Okay, well, we were stimulated as this time was an approach from yourselves, the Lieutenancy. We were approached in 2022, I believe, by Deputy Lieutenant Nigel Pearson at the time, and we seriously looked at it and considered entering. In fact, we started gathering data, pulling together our application, and then we just thought, well, let's put the brakes on this. We just weren't quite ready. So we shelved it for a couple of years and then obviously reapplied after discussions with yourself in 2024.
And was there something that changed in the business as well?
Yeah, obviously we was making big strides with sustainable development, and yeah, just thought we needed to finish what we was on with, and that process took a little bit longer than we thought. So whilst we thought it would be 23 we would apply, it was actually 24. But yeah, it put us in the right position and we applied and we were successful on the first round, which is really good.
So can I just ask a little bit more? Do you normally apply for awards?
Yeah, we apply for many awards, but mainly project driven and company driven, really. Nothing on the scheme of what the King's Award is. That is something else and something we're really proud of.
Okay. I'm going to come back to you in a minute because I'm going to ask the same question as Sean. Sean, why did you apply?
Well, I've always seen and respected the award. I assume maybe it's for bigger businesses than me, and it was when you visited Deb that gave me the confidence to apply. I think when I first looked at it online, it said the average application takes 40 or 50 hours. There's some number that really put me off, actually, which on hindsight I regret, because yeah, maybe by the time you've done all of your due diligence and the numbers, it takes that long, but actually it's not anywhere near as onerous as I at first thought.
Brilliant. Okay, well, we'll come back to the how. Well, let's stay on the how. So, Sean, I'm going to continue with you then. So, having decided you were going to do it, what approach did you use?
The approach we use, we applied for it again the second year, so maybe the first year's approach might not be the right one because it was a little last minute. But what I've found from doing the first application is you ought to look through every single question at the very start and probably assign those to members of staff, split up the responsibility. There'll be numbers that you need that will take a little time to gather if your business is anything like ours and it's not, everybody's busy and it's not something you can put your hands on immediately. We were applying for innovation and it was a specific product that we'd innovated and we had to split those sales out. We had to look at them by region. So what I'd advise you do is familiarize yourself with every question to begin with without, having to answer them all. And then just make a short list of what's going to take a little time to gather in terms of information and just assign those tasks and have that going on in the background, because then when you revisit it, you won't have these big hurdles that you need to jump over.
So is that your learning from winning the award with this category? And you've, as you said, you've applied for one for this year, which we're waiting to hear about. But is that your learning? For the first time, did you not do it like that? And second time you did?
Yeah, I would split it up into smaller sections over time. There is actually quite a long time of application that you can carry this out in. So yeah, I would break it down into maybe even monthly meetings or fortnightly where okay, what do we need? Finance need to have a look at these figures and let's have a look at them. And we need to, and just small chunks is how I would say over a period of time. And if you try and tackle it as one big project, it will feel a little overwhelming. But that would be my advice, to make it a piecemeal task.
Great, thanks, Sean. So, Jane, Gary, that's how Sean did it. How did you guys approach it?
To be honest,
Gary's looking at Jane, which I assume means
yeah. So I sort of led the entry for Integra. There was obviously input from the wider business, but I completely agree with Sean. If I'm honest, I would never try and tackle it all in one go. I had a good read through the questions, made some notes to myself. There's some sort of fairly straightforward, basic questions in the initial part of the application, which I covered off, and then divided up the balance of questions amongst people's speciality. So there was quite a few meetings. We went for sustainable development, so meetings with the SHEC team and the directors, obviously lots of meetings with Gary, but they were quite quick and punchy in terms of gathering the information. And then in terms of actually writing the response, I'd sort of sit on my own quietly, away from the business.
and I think you sent your application to us in draft, didn't you, a couple of times, so we could give you sort of an independent perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd done a draft myself and then left it for a week and come back to it just to sort of fresh mind and have a look through. It was really helpful, actually. We sent the draft in to yourself and to Andrew, and got some amazing feedback. I don't think we actually thought we would be successful the first time round. We were kind of hoping for the really good feedback to maybe go in again the second time round. So it was a real surprise and honour to have done so well. But
yeah, and Andrew mentioned, you know, for any business out there that's thinking of applying and is a bit concerned they're not quite ready, but you might want to give it a go. The feedback you get if you are unsuccessful, which neither of you two have been, so you haven't seen that feedback, but if you are unsuccessful, it is very detailed feedback and it's incredibly helpful. The interesting thing is both of you chose to create the applications yourselves, and we've heard that from the King's Awards office assessors, that they can sort of tell when a company recruits somebody to help them, you know, an official company that that complete these awards on behalf of others. I think the integrity of your storytelling by yourself is really powerful when it's done by people within the business. So just one quick question to both of you before we move on from the how, why you did it, and the how. Did you tell your teams that you were doing this? Sean, did you tell the wider team, or did you keep it quite quiet within a small group of you?
Yeah, I dispersed the questions between about 10 people in total. So people were aware of it. I actually found that if I said to the team, don't worry, just write a draft answer to the question. You know your department, you know what you've been working on. I'll edit it. I'll make sure, you know, don't worry if it goes wrong. And then oftentimes the answers that I got back, I just used them. They were absolutely fine. But I found that people clammed up a little bit if you said, you know, I need your answer for these 2 questions, because people thought, well, if we don't win, then. So that was quite a good tactic. And yeah, as a result, people were aware of it throughout the business.
And what about you, Jane, Gary? Did the wider business know you were applying?
Yeah, the wider business knew we was applying because obviously we shared all the questions with them and they supported us in answering all those. Obviously, when we were shortlisted, we kept that to ourselves then. We didn't release that until we knew we was a winner. So we thought that was the right thing to do.
And one of the questions I've got, again, the assessors have told us, and we've seen this in multiple applications, that the use of testimonials can be very powerful. So either suppliers or customers, of course. Did either of you include those? Gary?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. I'm looking at Jane.
Yeah, we actually we had testimonials from a couple of clients, but also to do with some of the social value that we've implemented in the area. We worked quite closely with Paul Primary School, and we had some really nice quotes from some of the children that had done a factory visit, so we included some of those as well. We also had the opportunity in the supplementary information to just put a little bit more detail around that, which was really helpful because obviously there is a limit to how many words you can put in your actual response. So.
Yeah, it's really important you don't duplicate information, isn't it, between the answers, because otherwise you're going to waste some of that word count. Yeah. Sean, did you include any testimonials from customers or suppliers or partners?
I didn't actually know, so that's a good thought for next time. We use various bits to kind of give credibility of other things that we won or whatnot, but no, that's good to know.
Yeah, great. Okay. So we understand why you both applied, and I think we've got to a little bit more about the how you did it. I think probably you've just given us our tips. Sean, you've talked about splitting up the responsibility, assigning it to other people, and taking your time. Jane, you talked about creating the draft and then going back to it after a while and maybe submitting it to us so we could give you a bit of an independent perspective. Are there any other tips about the process that you would want to let people on this call know about? Things that you wished you'd done, maybe Sean, in the future, you might include testimonials, but you've been successful so far without them. Is there anything you wish you'd done, anything you wish you hadn't done in hindsight?
Maybe just to get started a bit quicker, just make a start, answer some questions, see what you don't know. I think that would be my main advice and what I will learn from again when we apply the next time.
Yeah. So you have 4 months, don't you, from May the 6th through to sometime in September. We'll confirm the date for this year as soon as we know it. But you've got a 4-month window, and it's a really good point, Sean. I think one of our findings or one of our learnings from supporting businesses in Hull and East Yorkshire is that very often they put it off. The deadline is the opening of the awards is May the 6th, but they actually don't start doing anything till maybe June or July, and then all of a sudden that window closes quite quickly. It also makes it quite hard for us as a small team of people who do this on a voluntary basis to support you if we don't get sight of the application. Any tips from you, Jane and Gary?
I think for me, and it comes in with the bid writing as well, is just don't leave it till last minute to upload your entry onto the portal, because things can and do go wrong. And you don't want to have done months worth of work to miss out in those last minutes.
Yeah, so if the deadline's midday on the Friday, don't leave it till 10 to 12 and
Absolutely.
do it. Yeah. Try and do it the day before. Yeah, because obviously you don't know if there's any tech problems at your end or at their end.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So we talked about why you did it and how you did it. Let's talk now about what it has meant to the business. So Sean, let's start with you. So when did you find out?
I think it was about this time last year
And
that we found out.
how did you feel?
We were really excited. Yeah, it felt like a big award. It's something we'd wanted to win for a while. We hadn't really applied for any awards in quite a few years. We'd been in some top 100 lists. It was really good, but it was really motivational to the team to win it. And we export so many products. Everybody's aware of the monarch throughout the world, and at trade shows in America, it's the first thing we point to. And I was over in Omaha at a convention last week, and pointing out the King's Award to everybody there, and they love it, and they say, "Oh, so you know the King?" And you're like, "Yeah, whatever, why not?" So
I think there's only one person on this call who probably knows the King, and we know who that is.
Yeah, so it's been massive for us for our marketing and credibility, because we export so many products. There's always a concern of, well, who are you? Are you just going to disappear once? And the longevity of our products is so important to people, so it's not a guarantee it'll work just on the first glance. So it really helps us to reassure people that we're a legitimate manufacturer and they can rely on us.
So from a reputational perspective, it's been very positive.
Yeah, really positive.
What I've got a slide in a minute, which I'll bring up. I grabbed a couple of your social media feeds about when you were promoting it. Where does it appear? So where does you get the use of the emblem, don't you, for 5 years? What have you used it on? Where does it appear?
Got everything short of my pajamas, I think, Dev, at this stage. It's on it's covered on our building, on the product, pretty much where on our social media, on our website, wherever we can use it correctly, of course, we do.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. I'll come back to talk to you about the staff in a second, because I'm really keen to understand a little bit more about what it meant for them. So Jane, Gary, when did you hear? How did you feel?
It was around this time, actually. I think I got the message and my heart sort of stopped for a few moments. and then was really proud to be able to go and tell the other directors that we'd been successful.
So how did you announce it to the world?
I can't remember, really, can you?
We did a big press release.
We did a press release, but internally we had our own little thing first, didn't we? And
we had to keep it secret for a while, didn't we, until the official announcement. And then we did release internally a memo and did a formal press release.
And what have you done? And what have you done since then? Where does it appear for you on?
It appears for us we have it on our website, all social media, all advertisement on our vans, graphics. You know, we basically can plaster it everywhere we can, you know, in the right way. But you know, we're so proud of what we've got, what we've all achieved here.
Yeah. I'm just putting a slide up actually. I think this is yours, isn't it? So here's some images from, if everybody can see that, some images of some of the social media that you did. Lovely picture there of you, Gary, with the Lord Lieutenant, and a picture of you at Windsor Castle.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. You know, and something I'll never forget. You know, it's it gives me goosebumps as I sit here now. It was so good.
Yeah, excellent. And I think same for you, Sean. I think I've grabbed, obviously you use your marketing strategy is heavily focused on socials, isn't it? With Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. I've put all the logos down the bottom. I'm quite impressed. I remember which each of one of those is.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go to Windsor Castle because I'd been invited out to Necker Island at the time, so it was a big week for me. It's strange that they both came at the same time, and probably the two best invites I've ever had.
I was going to say that you an invite to meet the monarch and an invite to meet
Richard Branson, so
right,
both in the same week, which was ironic, really. So, but yeah, I think that's why I wanted to apply again. I thought I'd love to go myself next time, but I passed it on to a colleague who said it was the best experience of his working life. So
amazing.
That was nice.
Yeah, amazing. So you're both using it extensively externally as part of your marketing and corporate reputation management, which is fabulous. I guess that's what it's intended for, isn't it? As Jim said at the beginning, this is the most prestigious business award that you can ever hope to achieve. How are you using it internally? How is it helping? Is it helping with recruitment, retention, general morale and pride? Sean, what's your view on that?
Yeah, it's all part of it. I know the day when you guys came to see us, it was a real buzz around the place. I think you all coming from prestigious and successful business backgrounds yourself, everybody involved, I think, raised the bar really for us here, and we all felt that, and how friendly and engaging the day was really nice. Having a look at Jim's sword was a highlight for a couple of people as well. And, but the day was very good, and then otherwise it's really part of our strategy to attract the best talent that we can. We're hiring something like one person every week or more at the minute, so it's a big part of that.
Brilliant. And Gary, how does it impact for you internally?
Pretty much like Sean said, really. You know, it helps tremendously with recruitment. You know, very few construction companies in our area have ever had that, and you know, we're so proud to have it and tell the story. And also retention of staff. You know, we found that people come to us and they stay with us. You know, we're keeping people, and we're certainly attracting the right people as well, may I add, as the business continues to grow.
Yeah. And I didn't explicitly ask either of you about, do you think it's responsible for any of your commercial success in terms of additional sales, etc.? What's your view of that, Gary?
Without a doubt, I think it's so strong, you know, and it's great. You know, Jane can use that in all her submissions, and the value, you can't put a price to it.
We did actually have quite a large government department visit as part of a tender assessment a few weeks ago, and the King's Award was a real hot topic. I mean, we do have the trophy front and centre in the entrance, but they'd read it through our tender submission, and it just adds that extra level of confidence that due diligence and vetting's been done by such a professional establishment. It really does push us forward and set set us above the rest.
Just a reminder to everybody in the audience, if you want to ask Gary, Jane or Sean any questions, use the chat facility now. We're about 11:15, so we've only probably got 10 minutes left. But if you want to ask any questions, please pop them in there. So Sean, just on that commercial question, can you make a direct correlation between winning the award and commercial success?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the best way we've seen it is trust from homeowners. In the UK, we sell mostly resin mount surfacing for driveways, and driveway installers are, I think, the least trusted trade. It came out in a poll recently. So our business model is that homeowners inquire with us and we effectively look after them through that process. So being able to show the credibility of the award has really helped us in that process. And we have seen inquiries go up significantly over the last year, which we believe this award has been a big part of that. And it helps us help more homeowners because we ensure their projects are carried out successfully and they're happy. And obviously it helps our business and our installers as well.
Right. And we've had one question from Dale. Dale's asked, what is the biggest difference the award has brought to you and your business? So I guess you've both talked about some of the benefits. I guess what Dale's trying to do is push you to say, what's the single biggest thing that award has meant? Gary, Jane, what would your answer be? Don't have to be the same, by the way.
One of them for me is the positive attitude in the workforce. I think this was recognised when Lord Lieutenant Jim Dick came down. Everybody who he spoke to was positive attitude, and he commented on that, and I think that just has come through the business now. And everyone's can-do attitude, and it's really, really positive.
I guess the thing is, it's an award for the business, which means it's an award for everybody, isn't it? It's about everybody's contribution to that, so people have a strong sense of ownership, maybe, of the award. What about you, Sean?
I think the biggest difference is there's a lot of pride in the company, and the first thing everybody asked is, okay, how are we going to win this again? What are we going to do? What it's motivational to how are we going to improve the business? What's our next innovation? What market are we going to crack into next? So I think the biggest difference is probably pride, and then leading to motivation to try and be a business that can win it again.
Yeah, which is a similar sort of story. So, well, thank you, both of you. Sorry, all three of you. I've got two screens on my image. But thank you to the three of you for coming and sharing that story. I'm sure it's been really insightful for people on this call and hopefully quite inspirational, which was one of our objectives. So, I'm absolutely delighted now. We're going to wrap up in the next 5 to 7 minutes, and I'm delighted to welcome Jim back to say a few summary words.
Thank you, Deb. Well, look, I hope you all found that very informative. Every time I listen to you all, I learn something more, particularly from winners. I'd encourage you to think about applying, and if you don't feel it's quite right yet, well, don't forget to mention it to others as well, because you may know other businesses that might be there who will be very suitable as well. We're here to support you. It is a very prestigious award, and as we've seen, it is directly beneficial to your business. And I should just comment that although I might know the King, if you want to meet the King, the best way to do so is to win this award and go to the reception. And it's an opportunity for everyone. So if you want more information, go on the government website. It's all there, and there's plenty there. You can see the forms and so forth. But also, I can't stress enough, we are here to help you. So here are our contacts. If you want any advice or help, give us a shout. All the normal methods. We'll make sure one of the deputy lieutenants that you've seen and the others in the team will be there to help you. It's quite a journey. We like working with you on the journey, and sometimes if it doesn't quite work out, we'll work you on the next journey. Learn from what you've done before. So please do contact us. We're here to help. We want to see as many outstanding businesses in Hull and East Riding win these awards because we deserve them. What I'd also like to say is just a big thank you to our participants, Jane, Gary, Sean, for being here and giving up their time and being so enthusiastic. And also to the team, Andrew, Deb here, but also the rest of the team that have been helping the awards as well. So do think about it. We'd like to see more awards. We want to see more winners, and we deserve it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim. So I just want to remind you all as you leave this webinar what we heard. We've heard that the best way to do this is to prepare early. Sean and Gary and Jane said that. Check your eligibility straight away. You can do that really quickly. As Sean said, plan your responses. So delegate out to other people. As we know from the assessors, plain English and telling your story with lots of evidence is what is required. And if you can include testimonials, that will help. As we heard from both businesses, spreading the load with collaborators, as it says here, is going to get you to a point where you're going to successfully navigate your way through that 4-month window. And hopefully, if you are working alongside us as well, we can offer some independent perspective. So spread the load with us as well. And as it says here, answer once, answer it well. So you have limited space on the application form. You have a limited number of word counts. So don't duplicate your words. So there's some top tips from actually from the assessors and from people like Gary, Jane and Sean. We've heard today, these are the most prestigious awards. There are now 5 categories. The Young Founder Award is a brand new one. If you fit in that age category or you know somebody else who does, please make sure they're aware of it. This is a fantastic year to apply for that award. 3 of the other awards have been streamlined slightly and simplified in terms of the application process. So if you've applied previously or you've looked at the application previously, take another look because you might find it slightly more straightforward to answer this time. I'd just like to add my thanks to Jim's and particularly to Sarah and Lisa, who are behind the scenes, who've made the technology work in all of this for us today and have been dealing with you as you've registered for the webinar. You will get another email from them. It will have a copy of these set of slides in and our contact details again if you want to get in touch. So it's just before 11 o'clock now. Hopefully you will be able to move on with your day. Thank you for joining us and giving us your time. And maybe we might see you soon as you choose to apply for a King's Award. So have a good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us.